Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Sonic Adventure 2. I'm your host VGMKoren, and in the last one we finished up Hero's side story and saved the world. As you can see, we earned a nice little emblem under it, which means we're done, and you can also choose where you want to begin the story from if you want to replay the story, which is actually kind of cool. I like that you can just select your cutscene and go. We also have Dark Side Story to do, but that isn't what I'm going to be doing today. Instead, because it's kind of a natural transition point between stories, I would like to go ahead and show off a few features that I haven't until this point, which I'll go ahead and start with Stage Select. I actually really love the Stage Select screen in Sonic Adventure 2 because it's an awesome world map. I don't know why games don't do this more often. I mean, a lot of times when you get a stage select, it's just basically choose your chapter. It's a drop-down menu, or at best there'll be like a thumbnail that'll show you what's going to happen. This is a much better visual representation of where you're going to be. At least, I like it. And while we're here, I'm actually going to go back into Knuckles' Aquatic Mine stage and pick up a very important upgrade that I missed the first time around. I don't necessarily need this now that I've beaten the game or Hero Side Story, but I figured I would show it off just because it's incredibly important if you like being underwater. And that's all I'm really going to say about that. So go ahead and come to the top here. I do feel like I should have shown this off, by the way, which is why we're here. But go ahead and lower the water down to the 3rd level and take a big jump down here and try and find, I think this is it actually. There will be this hole with a spring here to get you back out. This is the right hole that you want to go to. Only go here if the water is all the way down. Now, this is a really weird place actually to have a dash pad because you'd think that would make you faster, but it most certainly does not. It just kind of happens. So you're going to swim through this tube and go through all these rings, and as the music starts to go, oh no, you're drowning, you can come up and into the air necklace. An oxygen tank air necklace. What? You can now breathe underwater, which basically means Knuckles is immune to drowning. This very important upgrade stays with you. Also, this is where one of the rare dragon figures can show up. Now, to show off another couple of things, if you hit restart, first of all, you don't lose your upgrades. They will always be with you after you find them, regardless of whether you complete the stage or not. Second, restarting, as you might have noticed in the bottom left corner, took away one of my lives, which is kind of indicative that's not really a restart so much as a willful suicide. But I want to show that off because I felt like it was important and I needed it. Now, I also want to show off the Chow World, which we'll go ahead and go into as Knuckles since we just picked up an awesome dragon. I mean, who doesn't love dragons? The Chow, definitely one of the best things about this game, and I haven't really shown off anything that the Chow can do, so let's just pick up this dragon and go find one of our little Chows. This is by far one of the best points, oh no, little Chow, of Sonic Adventure 2. One thing I haven't shown off is that machine in the right corner, back over there, lets you throw Chow away if you don't want them. By which I mean you release them into the wild. But yes. Oh, he's got horns now. Let's give him that. Chow will eventually grow up if you spend enough time with them in the Chow Garden, but that would actually involve a lot more time than I'm willing to give. Now, another thing I haven't shown off is Chow Races, which I'll go ahead and show off now. Because why wouldn't I? We can go ahead and do the beginner race, and let's do this. This guy with a run of level 1, he'll be great. He'll do the best. So this is actually one of probably the biggest draws to Sonic Adventure 2 is just how in-depth the Chow system actually is. As you can see, our guy with his dragon horns and tail looks way more awesome than the rest of them. Also, I seriously think that Chow are responsible for all of the weird characters you now see that are like foxes with wings or dragons that are furred or stuff like that. I feel like Chow is responsible for that, and I feel like it maybe should apologize to us for that. Anyhow, this music is adorable. There's not a whole lot you can actually do in Chow Gardens. You can watch. And if you press A, you'll use a little bit of your stamina and go a little bit faster. And this is what you do. Oh, he's running so fast, kind of. This will... I don't even know. I really don't know what I could say to make this okay, but it's kind of great. You've got crabs in the background. You can do all kinds of things with your Chow, by the way. If you raise their power, you will be able to unlock Punch-Out Chow version, where you can take these adorable little creatures and make them beat the ever-loving shit out of each other, which is just kind of great. It looks like level 1 run may not have been enough because our Chow is significantly falling behind here at this point. Now, I think this actually might be the swimming level rather than the running level, but I figured I would just go ahead and show this off because I think it's also the shortest one. As you can see, a gigantic portion of the map is grayed out. Later courses use much more of the map, so you'll end up having, you know, a swimming challenge, a running challenge, a puzzle challenge, stuff like that. At least I feel like there are puzzle challenges. If there's not, then I'm a horrible, horrible liar. Either way, there's not much more for you to do other than to sit and watch. You can also quit if you feel like it, and this is why I haven't really shown off much of the Chow, is that it's very passive, but it's also adorable. How can you not love this? Anyways, Slowpoke Baby Chow finally made it, and doesn't get in the top 3. In fact, he was 8th and last, and probably hates us a little bit more. And try again. I don't remember exactly what the rewards are for beating Chow races, but they're there, and I know that they're popular, so we're going to go ahead and quit out of that. And yeah, I just really wanted to show off some more of the things that Chow could do. Oh, hey, I haven't shown this off either. This is Chow Kindergarten. My god, this is just the weirdest child raising simulator. If you go into the classroom over here, you can leave your Chow. Or take your Chow. Oh, wait, you have to go get your Chow and then bring them into the classroom and leave them there. There's also a black market inside the kindergarten where you can buy item with rings you've collected. And those items include eggs for Chow. You can make a blue Chow, an orange Chow. You can get fruit that will make your Chow good or evil, or skilled, or round and delicious. Basically, this is where you end up spending a lot of the rings you earn in the game. And as you can see, all of Hero Side Story got me 858 rings, while the most expensive thing here is 2,000 rings. So you will have quite a bit to spend your money on and to grind from stages for. You can also sell some items if you bring them here. I don't know if you can sell your Chow, but I feel like I should have brought them. And if you collect more emblems, you will have more to buy. The principal's office. Let's show off the principal's office. Can I go in there? Okay, great. Welcome to the kindergarten. I'm the kindergarten principal. Learn tips to raise your Chow from Professor Chow. We aren't going to go through tips. I could, but if you want tips, you can do that. This is the health center. The doctor will examine your Chow. How are you feeling? I mean, look at his face. That is exactly what it would look like. You can also, you know, if your Chow is feeling sick or depressed, you can take him to the doctor. You can also get your fortune told. You won't get your fortune told here, but it's fun and nice to get a nice name for your Chow. I will give your Chow a lucky name. Please bring your Chow here. Best wishes for world peace. See you again. Oh god, what are these voices? They're terrible. They're bad. But yes, you can name your Chow or get your Chow a lucky name. I'm not entirely sure which. Maybe I'll do another intermission episode after Dark Side where I do all of this crazy stuff with my Chow, but until then, maybe not so much. Alright, what else can I show off? Oh, I know what I can show off. Missions! As you can see, the first mission of any stage is their story mission, while the second mission is different. So in this case, I have to collect 100 rings for City Escape. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this and I guess show it off real fast because it shouldn't take long to get 100 rings. I hope. Okay, so I'm just having visions of myself getting hit millions of times. So this is kind of what you do once you've beaten the story of Sonic Adventure 2, is you find these stages that you actually enjoy playing, and you use them to grind up Chow parts and gather rings and play additional modes for those stages. This is kind of important to note because I think that this is a gigantic part of why people like Sonic Adventure 2 as much as they do, is because after you beat the story mode, who really goes back and plays Tails and Knuckles stages again? I mean, most people, everyone I know certainly, just goes and plays as many Sonic stages as they can over and over again, or Chow stages too, for that matter, and does their various missions because they're a lot of fun. They're not polished, but they're fun. And yes, as I mentioned, you can now do much cooler tricks because, you know, you've actually played through most of the game, which it is a very cool thing to be able to do. Looks like we need 4 more rings. Now, there are a lot of different, actually, types of missions. Some will be collect 100 rings, some will be find all the Chow that are missing, some will be play the stage on hard mode, some will be, you know, play the stage with a time limit, which is really funny when you get to stages that already have time limits, and each one you do gets you another emblem, which you need to unlock various things, including, at the very end of the game, a final stage, but that's a different topic. And that's all I really want to show off on the world map, so we can go ahead and pull it out of there and do a kart race! Yay! So, I'm going to go ahead and do the best thing of putting Sonic in a car and put him in a standard race. I don't know why this exists. I just want to go ahead and put this out there before I get started. But yes, this is Sonic Racing. There are 3 tracks: normal, beginner, intermediate, and expert. And it's totally a Mario Kart killer, guys. Totally. I am baffled that this exists in the game. Like, this, okay, no, it's not very good, but, I mean, no, it's not very good. Why does this exist in this game at all? There's no reason for it to. But it does, and it looks like I am just in last place by a mile, which, speaking of, I don't think there is rubber banding in this game, so it probably means you're going to be staring at me in 6th place for a long time here. And as you can see, as you kind of crash but don't do enough to do the spin out, you will just reset the game's graphics engine for a split second, which really seems like the best thing that you should be doing. Really, just, it absolutely does. I mean, who doesn't love a kart racer that, instead of actually having damage physics or anything like that, just, you know, it skips to a universe where you didn't crash. It is that kind of car racing game. I really have no words for this. But this is just kind of evident of Sonic Adventure 2 having so many different ideas and so many things that you can do that you don't want to, and you probably will never do. You can't call the game short on content because it's not. The story mode is a decent length, actually, for a platforming style game, and there are lots of extra missions and extra modes. The problem is, of course, is that none of them are any good whatsoever, aside from the Sonic and Shadow stages, which just seems about right, really. I'm going to go ahead and finish this race, even though I have long since fallen behind, because why not? It seems like just the thing to do. So, oh, hey, Rouge. Rouge is the worst. Oh, no. Everything's ruined. As you can see, the AI drivers, I'm not even sure they're AI drivers so much as they're just scripted to go through in exactly the same style each time. I don't know enough about this mode to know that, but it wouldn't surprise me. Let's go with that. Hitting a boost pad resets your drift and also resets your position on the course, because why wouldn't it? And once everyone else finishes, the race ends. Oof, that was bad. And as you can see, it didn't even give me a rank for that. So we're not going to do any more of that. We're not going to do any more of that at all. Now, going on to boss rush mode. This lets you play through all the bosses in Hero or Dark Side Story in a row, and you try and beat them as fast as you can, with the highest score you can. It's a cool mode, but I don't really feel like showing off all the bosses again. I'm not sure it would be really interesting for me to do that regardless, because, well, you saw the bosses the first time, you know. And finally, of course, there's the 2-player battle mode, which involves, since I don't have a second player here, I guess I'll just go ahead and go over it real fast. First, yes, that is Metal Sonic, Chaos, and Tikal in the background there, even though they don't really show up. But basically, every character has special abilities, and you race through stages of the game. So Sonic and Shadow will run through stages and try and finish first while destroying the other person. Eggman and Tails and their Chow counterparts will just shoot each other until one of them dies, and Knuckles and Rouge go on a quest to find the Emerald as fast as they can. It's actually kind of a cool inclusion. It's just terrible. It's just not good. But it's great for when you're a kid. It really is. And that is kind of just a display of all the different things you can do in Sonic Adventure 2. It has a lot of content. It's a very, very content-filled game. The problem, of course, as I've said several times in this episode, is that it's very unbaked. Some of it is delicious, but a lot of the other parts are just not that great. It's still one of my favorite games of all time, though, just for nostalgia alone, and for that awesome music line, which I guess I should start talking about the music in this game, shouldn't I? Maybe I will do that in the next one, where we start out the Dark Side Story. I hope to see you then.